for game number 2 between these two lovely gentlemen, spawning in the bottom left position as the blue Terran player from Team A Series down 0-1 in this best of 3 to see who advances on to the Russian Starleague playoffs starting this Monday. It is MMA. And spawning in the top right position as the green Protoss player from Evil Geniuses up 1-0 with a really nice Colossus timing with 3-3. It is HuK. So, it's come down to game number 2 here. MMA being down a game. We've seen some interesting builds from MMA, and I feel like he could totally, still take this match. He played really well, even versus Hyun when he lost. So, as far as the strategies that we might see on this map go, I think something a little more aggressive from MMA will probably come out. Most Terran players really don't like playing the epic late game versus Protoss, unless you're Empire happy. He's literally the only Terran I've heard of that likes playing late game TvP. There we go. There's that gas. So we should at least see a Reaper play from MMA. And this is a very small rush distance map, so it's not uncommon to have this kind of setup where you want to be able to scout if your opponent is doing anything really aggressive. And there's a double gas from HuK. So he's just playing his normal game. He's just doing his thing. Nothing really unusual here from the Protoss player. Not going for the super fast 10 supply gateway Zealot Mothership Core Stalker rush. Now, as far as MMA's follow-up goes, I don't know. I'm not sure if he's going to do anything crazy like a mine drop. I feel like that would be ideal, but we'll have to see. The Reaper is on the way for our Acer Terran. And I'm curious if he's going to take SCVs off of gas once he reaches 50 in an attempt to just get a reactor after that Reaper and expand quickly. Or if he's going to continue to mine the gas, maybe go for something like a factory or a second Reaper. That's really what we're going to be looking for here. And, well, MMA, he has 50 gas. Still mining it. So there's potential here for some follow-up play like mine drop shenanigans, maybe even Hellbats. The world is his oyster, but he will expand first. And there's the reactor. So MMA's Reaper going out to scout. And his SCV actually sees everything that it really needs to inside of HuK space. There's nothing really weird going on. He sees that, I think he should have seen the number of pylons. So he knows that it's not going to be a proxy play. Yeah, seeing 3 pylons means no proxy play from the Protoss player. That alliteration is crazy. And the Reaper's going to come in here. He might be able to grab a probe. The Mothership Core actually was not immediately started, so you can kind of dance around the Stalker. Getting a probe is really, really nice. You're usually not supposed to kill probes with your Reaper in Terran versus Protoss. Most Protoss players are accustomed to having that Stalker out in time to deal with it, but MMA getting himself a little bit of a free tip, I guess. Now this Zealot is going to run towards this natural. So what he wants to do here is the Stalker zones away the Reaper, and then the Zealot picks off the SCV building the command center and the bunker. But now he's going to pull these away. These 2 Marines, though, should be able to handle this for now. The Reaper doing as much damage as possible. It will regenerate its health, so he's okay with that taking damage. MMA not losing anything, actually. The question is, will he be able to get this bunker up? The Stalker is going straight for the SCV that's been building it. The Reaper trying to tank as much damage as it can since it does heal over time. But these Marines, the Reaper's got one more shot and it will die. But MMA, he doesn't have an SCV here finishing off this bunker, but he's going to be able to hold, and that's good. Twilight Council starting for HuK. It looks like we're going to see Dark Templar play here. He doesn't have a Forge, so what else could he possibly be doing with that? We usually don't see Blink play off of 2 bases from Protoss players. He does have Stalkers coming, but with this Forge, it looks like he wants to have it defensively. 2-base Blink Stalker, I mean, I guess it's not terrible, considering that MMA is going for a fast mine. But that's actually going to make things a little bit difficult. It's, you know, because the mine one-shots the Stalkers, and if you don't go for any kind of robotics facility play, that can be kind of weird. There's no there's no engineering bay or anything, no missile turrets from MMA. So I want to believe it'd be DTs, but HuK has so much gas banked, I don't see how it could be Blink. Yeah, there's the Dark Shrine. And there's also the Forge, so The Forge isn't as important. The Forge is mostly to deal with the Widow Mine drops that's likely going to come. And here we have the Photon Cannon already starting up. This Reaper comes in, though. MMA, is he going to see it? This is huge. The probes are being pulled to block the vision. Did he see it? Oh, the Dark Shrine. Oh, there's the engineering bay. Oh, that was so close. I don't think HuK knows that he saw that. I don't think HuK knows. That was such a close probe pull. And there's the drop. 2 Widow Mines and 4 Marines making their way over towards HuK's base. Ooh, man, that's rough. That's rough. That's rough for HuK, because now MMA is going to start those missile turrets up. He's warping in the pylon. By the time that pylon's done, the turret will be done, and so will the Dark Shrine, so he won't be able to do much with that. Of course, he still has map presence. He can kind of do a bit of harass play with it. It's not like having it is just terrible. So HuK continuing to just kind of check around. Here comes that medevac, though. Will he be able to stop that drop from coming in? The Photon Cannon just starting. There's no other detection if these mines manage to burrow. But the Stalkers get right on top of it. Ooh, he's trying to bring that medevac closer. Oh, there's the mine. Is it going to get to burrow? It does. Ooh, nice. Barely getting it before it can unburrow. And that cannon actually cannot... Oh, HuK can see the mine. Never mind. He's good. He's good. So he's be able to pick that mine off. No problemo. And the medevac with the Marines can't do too much because there is a Photon Cannon here. And the Photon Overcharge will be available in just a couple of seconds' time for HuK. Now, the DTs, yeah, not doing anything. Nope. Actually couldn't tell if he even made Dark Templar. He's just not really... Doesn't really have too much available to him here. So, the Dark Shrine thwarted. Third base on the way for MMA. Medevac production about to begin. Stim is super late, though. Stim won't be done until about 12 minutes or so. 11, 12 minutes. And that's going to be really, really bad for MMA because it gives HuK time. I mean, if HuK knew how late Stim was, he could actually just take his third base right now and use the DTs to zone away any kind of drop aggression. So, this does make things difficult. Yeah, this DT took a bit of paint damage, and then it just ran over towards the third. So, scan goes down for MMA. What's he looking for? Tech. Yeah, he sees, okay, Dark Shrine, +1 armor's on the way. Charge. Very standard setup. This isn't really a good all-in type setup that HuK has. You could move into a lot of additional gateways, but it's a bit too late, I think, to do anything crazy like a 6-gate all-in. Moving up to 5 gateways is fine. I would like to see HuK take a third, though. That's really all I want. I mean, he's got another gateway. He is going to go up to 6 gates. This is tricky. Oh, HuK going up to 7 gateways. This could be a Zealot Archon all-in from HuK off 2 bases. I mean, Stim's going to be late, but this attack is going to be late enough that he'll actually have his Stim in time. And he moves out. DT's going to start picking off Marines. Throws on his scan. The DT does not get away. But the pylon will also die. And I mean, this DT is still here, so he can kind of prevent the third from going up. He can poke away at these Marines, and I think it's fine. Without combat shield, DTs do one-shot these Marines, which is really, really nice. But there's still the turret here. Still 4 Marines in the bunker, so there's no way that Dark Templar is going to be able to get inside. And MMA is going for a counterattack. 30 seconds away from Stim. He's scanning forward. He wants to see what's here. And there is a Mothership Core. He will be able to Photon Overcharge, but I don't know if MMA can quite push in just yet. Now Combat Shield is also complete, so those DTs won't be quite as effective. He does have the +1 attack as well. So despite the +1 armor being up for HuK, it's not really going to help him crazy amounts. And more Stalkers being warped in. So just trying to deal with the number of Marines here. And he runs these 2 medevacs in. He's not dropping anything. He's trying to bait HuK back. We've seen a lot of this. Warping in a DT to deal with the drop is actually really nice. It's a very fast, effective way of dealing with the drops because he doesn't have to split his whole army off. Now, this DT prevents the base from landing, but that third will land. And this DT is trying to bait out scans. He's really trying to just hurt MMA's economy as much as possible. And MMA, he's continuing to just press forward, try to prevent a third base from going up. And HuK, he's just punching out these units. +2, he might just go for a +2 charge lot play. And he does have that charge. Blink is on the way as well, but I don't think he's going to be able to get a third right now versus this setup. And the DT just coming in here. Oh, there's the scan. Is he going to get the DT? He's trying to run away. Barely escaping is that DT. Nice play from HuK. And he can actually run in and prevent this missile turret from finishing if he gets there in time. I don't think he will, but this is a really awkward position for HuK because he's kind of missed his opportunity to deal any damage to the Terran player. Keep in mind, guys, MMA is actually down 1 game. HuK is leading this series. If he wins this game, he advances to the playoffs. So he's playing this a bit too cautiously, I think. He either should have gone for the fast third or he should have gone for the fast attack. But sitting here on 2 bases this long isn't going to help him. Now he's adding on a Forge and a Twilight Council. I think this is being a really, really indecisive play from HuK because without the third base. And this third base will start the third, but it's just so late. And it's already given MMA enough time. So you look at it from MMA's perspective. He's saying to himself, well, you opened up with DTs. You don't have any observers. So your next natural transition would be into Templar. We have Mobius Reactor on the way. We have Ghost production beginning. And he sees that there's still DTs being thrown away at him to try to deal with it, deal some harassment damage. And it's just natural to expect High Templar. So he's already going to have Ghosts by the time that Storm is done. There will already be Ghosts with enough energy to EMP. And that's just MMA covering all of his bases. These DTs are really not doing too much for HuK. We can see HuK has lost almost twice as many resources as MMA due to these this big investment into the Dark Templar play throughout the entire match. And Marine does get picked off here, but HuK, he's just continuing to press forward. He has a lot of charge lots, which, I mean, MMA is starting to mix in Hellbats. I think that's a smart decision. You realize, hey, okay, if he's going to go for Templar, he's probably going to go for Storm. And he's probably going to go for charge lots, a lot of charge lots. That's where the Hellbats become very useful, especially since these Zealots do have the +2 armor. And now that he's getting the +3 armor, it's going to be so hard to kill him with the bio. +2/2 has just started now for MMA, so he's a little bit behind in the attack upgrades as far as the armor for HuK goes. And that's where you just want to have the units that counter them. You want to have the proper setups with a number of Hellbats. You want to have those EMPs. How many Ghosts do we have for MMA right now? 4 that we can see. 3 more are about to pop out. And of course, remember, Mobius Reactor is complete, so these guys do have enough energy for EMPs immediately off the bat. And MMA is just rolling in with that macro. He's got a nice supply lead up about 40. And HuK, what does he have set up right now? A good number of Zealots. Looks like one of our observers may have died a horrible, painful death. So yeah. But this game, it's been pretty intense opening, and I feel that MMA has ended up on top after all of the aggression. So we'll have to see if HuK can maintain himself. I think keeping that third base alive is such an important part of being able to win this. Really, this map is awful for third bases as Protoss, but if you can't get it early, then all in. But don't take your third late on this map, or at least I wouldn't recommend it. How many observers in that game? We have quite a few people, actually. RSL, we do casts for Russian, Spanish, I think, English. Obviously, there's an English cast. I don't know who does it, but... well, that guy's going to drop. And, yeah. So, MMA moving out. He's got a lot of bio. I don't think MMA wants to try to force any issue until he has 2/2, because this +3 armor that's about to finish up for HuK is actually going to give him a really, really nice sweet spot versus MMA. And that's really HuK's only chance is to win with the upgrade advantage. He's splitting up his bio a little bit. He has Hellbats here with these Marines, which means that he can't just send a bunch of Zealots to deal with that. The Stalkers are blinking up. He wants to try to catch this force. The scan's going for MMA. And these DTs going for a bit of charge lot harass on this third base. He's doing what he can. I like this a lot. But he's not really killing a lot of SCVs. He's killed 10 total this game. Doesn't really matter. He's Terran. In fact, he just freed up supply for him to build more units because he's he already has the ideal number of SCVs. And now we have MMA just going to barge on into this third base. Picks off one Templar. Decent Storms, actually. Where are the Ghosts? Okay, they're in the back. Haven't really actually hit too many of these Templar yet, but I don't think there's... oh, that's actually it. He doesn't have any... he only has like a couple of Storms left. He has 2 Storms remaining. Third Storm is about to be ready. He's warping in 2 more Templar. He's running this bio away. His 2/2 is about to finish, though. So this +3 upgrade for the armor on HuK won't be quite as difficult to deal with anymore in just a couple of seconds. Gets a nice hit off on some of those Stalkers, but blinking back. And now the robotic space coming in. I feel like at this point, though, HuK would want to have... oh, he does have 2 robos. Look at me being a stupid caster. He's adding on a second robo bay. HuK, please. Anyway, yeah, he's a double robo, so you can go straight into double Colossus production. There are no Vikings on the map. But will it be in time for HuK? That's the real question. In fact, if he doesn't think he has a robotics bay, he won't even make Colossus until the second one finishes. Oh, he's baiting out a lot of these charge lots. Here come the Ghosts. Oh, he's cloaking. Oh, there's no... okay, there's one observer. Oh, if he picks that off, that could spell doom. Oh, Storm hitting a lot of this bio. The charge lot's getting on top of a lot of these units, though. The observer is not here to actually spot these Ghosts, and these Ghosts are just laying waste. MMA almost dancing his medevac, starter stepping back and forth. Those +3 charge lots dealing a lot of damage, but not enough. MMA is going to tie this series up 1-1, and HuK taps out. MMA Evening this match up here for the Russian Starleague Group F final match. Guys, it comes down to this. One more game to decide who is going to advance to the Russian Starleague playoffs that begin on Monday. We'll get into this final game in just a moment, guys. Don't go anywhere. One last deciding match coming up between MMA and HuK.